What's up, everybody? This is the Apostles Corner, and welcome back. We are so excited to be back today. I am your podcast host, Brian A. Harris, and this is my co-host, Dr. Kimberly R. Harris.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, y'all.
We've been gone for a minute again. We tried our best to come back, and we've been rocking and rolling. The streets been hot.
We've been hot.
The streets been hot, man. I'm telling you, it's been, and we're still going. We're still going. We just needed to stop and plant another one of these seeds today. Amen.
Amen.
So we're excited about being back. We've done a lot since we've been gone, but we want to talk about today in episode 4. Man, it seems like we've been in this season for a long time.
I thought this was 5.
This is like 4.
Oh.
Yeah, last one was 3. Well, no, you know what? It is 5.
I thought so.
I think it is 5. Episode 5. Mm-hmm. It sure is. Yeah. I went through the series last night, and it was 3 and then 4. Because I noticed how on YouTube, it says the number 3, and then on episode 4 is spelled out the number 4. I don't know why that happened.
Oh. So this is 5.
This is 5. Yeah, well, 5. 5 is the number of grace. We've had grace to get back. Grace while we were gone.
Work it. And
we're talking today about something that's near and dear to my heart. And, man, it's so amazing. So I think we're going to talk about get in where you fit in. We're still talking about boundaries. So how does this make sense? Get in where you fit in. What do you mean? Get in where you fit in as a boundary. And my heart, as I began to meditate on it, I started thinking, I was like, we talk a lot about, keeping people out or keeping people at this space in our life and making sure that people don't get into places that they shouldn't in our lives. But sometimes we legit go into places that we shouldn't go.
Right, yeah.
And try to make these things work. Whether it be relationships, whether it be careers, jobs, schools, church, whatever. We go in environments that we don't fit in.
Right.
And we are guilty of, and I say we, I don't mean you and I, just people in general. We generally want to blame the environment for not accepting us when really we know that we don't fit in the environment.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
We go beyond your own boundary that you set for personally to try to fit into environments that don't really even go with the boundary that you have.
Yeah, and I think in this setting, in this session or episode, I want to look at a few things, but one of the things that really can tell us where we should be is our calling. What is our calling? You know what I'm saying? Amos 3:3 says, how can 2 walk together except they be in agreement? I can't be in a relationship with somebody that I'm not in alignment with,
right?
That don't speak my language, don't understand my language, which creates a bad habit of overly explaining yourself. All it really takes is one person that you really want to fit in with to try to convince them that who you are, and they don't get it.
Right.
But you really want them to get it because you really want them to be that person for you. And doesn't necessarily mean romantic relationship or anything. Yeah. You just want that person or those people to be that person for you. And you end up overly explaining yourself on every single thing. And now they don't even have to ask you more questions. You just start talking until you done spilled out everything in your life.
And then it frustrates you when they still seem to not
understand it. Yeah.
And sometimes people seem like they don't understand, but they really do understand. They just don't care.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't fit. Sometimes we don't want to accept that just like everybody's not our vibe or our people, we don't want to feel like we're not everybody's vibe or everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes we're just not everybody's jam. We're
it's
not
just their rejection.
We're not their
piece.
person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Their rejection piece. We don't want to feel like we're being rejected. And so only problem is that it's not their fault.
Right.
You're overly committed to them and they're not committed to you at all.
Yeah.
And that's a really good point, because that's exactly what it looks like. That's the danger of it. You overly commit, you have a good experience with them, and then all of a sudden, if you like me and you just really want to give people a chance, on the first try, you it's the first encounter. It's like first impression is the best impression. It's a lasting impression. And so I meet you, but you're not the you I really think you are. You're giving me a part of you, and I'm falling in love with that side of you. But none of that really tells me what kind of heart you really have. Right. And so, because I'm such I almost said a wuss, but I'm a sucker.
don't be a wuss.
I'm a sucker for loving, healthy, vibrant relationships. I keep coming back as if you made some sort of commitment, hoping that I can continue and we can take up where we left off. Right. So I had a great experience with you, and now I want to try it again tomorrow. Let's see. I saw you at church, and we're just so wonderful. So now I'm going to text you and see if you'll talk to me. We exchanged numbers, and you knew that you were just being nice, and you were just giving me a number. You never, ever committed to actually texting me, throughout your week. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes we overcommit. We don't just overcommit ourselves, but we commit other people in our minds to things that they never committed to.
Yeah, that's really good.
And so then we suffer disappointment not because of them, but because, again, like you said, because of us, because we have now made a decision for someone and they never made that decision.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that sometimes we don't take our time enough to get to know people. We of course, like you said, you get an impression when you first meet someone. Well, nobody knows all of us when we first meet them either.
Right, that's right.
And so, and sometimes people overcommit us in their heads the same way that we can overcommit them to things that we don't even know we're committed to in somebody else's head.
Yeah.
And so sometimes our disappointment comes from just the boundaries that we've already crossed, our own and probably someone else's in our minds, because we want we have an ideal. Like you said, I have this way that I want, relationships to work and healthy and thriving. But my motto is always take every relationship for what it's worth. Because it doesn't mean that a relationship can't be healthy and thriving. It's just all relationships aren't going to be the same.
Yeah.
And so we have to. Well. I had a little disruption there.
Wow. All right, let's go again.
But we have to let relationships develop, give them enough time and space to breathe so that they can develop, and so that we can see where the bounds are in the relationships. And I think about it like boundaries that guide.
Right. Right.
Not that necessarily keep out or whatever, but that guide. Like you have boundaries, like in a when you said this earlier, what you wanted to talk about, I thought about a go-kart track or a racetrack. Like there's boundaries, but there are turns that if you go beyond that boundary, you're off the track.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have to make the turns based on the boundaries that have been set up for that particular route. Yeah. And so that's how relationships are. Yeah. You have to follow the boundaries, not only yours, but the ones that have been set up in the mind of the person that you are coming into relationship with. Yeah. And you're not going to know what those boundaries are, what they look like, until you allow enough space for the relationship to breathe and develop organically, so you can see, oh, okay, that's a boundary. They gave me their phone number, they really don't want to talk outside of this. And that's okay.
Yeah, they're not going to call me back.
Right. And that's okay, as long as you know that. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I can't, but I can do that with somebody else, but that person, okay, I know that they don't want to talk to me. So I'm not going to keep pressing that boundary, because then it leads to disappointment. And then overworking, like you said, overworking yourself and over explaining yourself, because you feel like, oh, well, maybe they don't understand me, or maybe they don't understand it. I'm just trying to get to know them. Maybe that's just a boundary they set up that they don't want to get. Some people only want to be surface, and we can put out there ourselves and let them know I would like to be more than surface, if that's what You know what I'm saying? But if that person has decided that their boundary is, I only want to be surface, you have to follow that guide on that track with that person. Each person has their own track. Each relationship has their own track to follow.
It's interesting because living here in Memphis, we don't really know a lot of people. We're starting to know people, going places, churches, events. We just got in the SOAR network, which are very amazing people. But prior to that, I started to meet people that I just, been watching for years. I'm like, wow, so cool. And I started exchanging numbers. I was like, man, these people are preaching all over the place. And I got their phone number and blah, you know what I'm saying? And all this and all that. And I'm thinking, I got a best friend.
Yeah, no, they didn't ask to be your
and
best
then
friend.
one of my, and not necessarily, that's an extreme response to that. I didn't think I had a best friend. I just thought I had somebody that, all right, really wanted to get to know me as I was trying to get to know them. And one phone call was like, nothing. Call me, doc. And you know what I'm saying? And it was like, no, I ain't really mean it.
It's like that episode of Martin where he was.
I was just thinking that. I swear, I was just thinking that. Varnell Hill.
Yeah, if you're ever in town, have your people call my people.
Yeah, and we'll hook up. I got fish in the lake. They're delicious. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, like we disappoint ourselves. Get in where you fit in. Every encounter with a person is not going to turn into a relationship.
Right. Yes.
No matter how much you admire them, no matter how nice or kind they are. And watch this. This doesn't mean, here's a good lesson for many of us. This doesn't mean that they are being hypocritical.
Right. Yeah.
This just means they already got their friends. They worked hard, and they don't really want their circle to be larger or smaller necessarily. It's just that the people that's already in their life, they have their whole year planned with these people, and they're not going. They're not going outside of that to add you someone that they don't know or whatever the case may be, or they don't know if they're gonna have to carry you. They don't know if you are. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what you're bringing to the table. It's not that you won't be able to be cordial with them, but you got to get in where you fit in.
Right.
If you don't fit into their friendship zone, you can't always get your feelings hurt because they don't answer your phone, answer your text, whatever. Like one of the before we got into the SOAR and under the network and under the Pettigrews, I was looking for some covering, and when I asked the guy, hey, do you cover people? He's like, and I knew right then he wanted to tell me no. But he didn't want to say that because he clearly know that when someone's asking, they obviously need it. But when he said, I have over 40 sons in the ministry, he said, how about we just go to lunch? And I think he was serious. I think he was serious at that point. He's like, let's go to lunch and we just have a conversation about it. And I came home and it was the Lord that spoke to me and said, you don't need him as a spiritual father.
Right.
You need him as a friend. You just need to go and show yourself friendly. Just sit in the Bible study, learn from him through his ministry, watch him on YouTube, whatever. Get close. In other words, get in where you fit in.
Right.
He's too busy. He's already overwhelmed. He's in a doctoral program. He's in 2 different schools right now. All of this stuff. He has a wife. He has children. He has grandchildren. He has church. He travels all over the country. Where do you fit in, bro?
Right.
Where you fit? I mean, it kept me from being offended because I realized, wait a minute, I'm a pastor. I know how this feels. Right. You don't want to tell somebody no, but you also know that you already over capacity.
Yes.
All it takes is 5 of his sons to call him in the same day, and he's drained, distracted, and he's off from his task that he has to have for his own life. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see him taking his hands off of certain things, even in his ministry in this time, because you see other people teaching. He's only preaching on Sundays between him and his spouse. So at the end of the day, you have to know who you are, and you got to know what kind of relationships you need and where you fit in. Right. If a person is showing, because the guy that helped me with this helped me to understand, say nobody's saying that they don't like you.
Right.
Who told you that?
Yeah.
Who said that? He helped me with that. He said, the problem is that these people already have their relationships.
Right.
You got to get in where you fit in. Just because people are kind to you doesn't mean they're hypocritical because they don't contact you or have space for
the type
you.
of relationship that you might be looking for. Yeah. And it shouldn't be offensive because that's where we have to have grace and space to let people be who they are, because we don't know if we come into a relationship with someone. I don't know how busy you are. I don't know how many people you already have pulling on you. I don't know what headspace you're in. You may not even be already able to handle the friends, the family members, whatever, your job, whatever it is that pulls in you in so many different directions. You might be on the edge and one more person needing one more thing, other than to be able to have a decent conversation with me when you see me. That might be as far as our relationship goes. And every time you see me somewhere, it might be, we can have a great conversation and then we part ways and then we don't talk again until we see each other the next time in passing, maybe on Beale Street at a restaurant getting some catfish or something, and that should be okay.
And if that's the relationship in itself, that they can recognize you out of everybody in the world, you should be happy about that. Because there's a lot of people that probably talk to them that's unrecognizable. So to them, you know what I'm saying? Because they can recognize you is a blessing in itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I've just come to the grips, man. Get in where you fit in. And because I have to do that with my own life at this point and understanding what it takes to be me. And I'm sure that there are people that would probably want to be in a different type of relationship with me, and some try and probably get their feelings hurt. Well, it doesn't mean I'm being fake. It doesn't mean that I'm being someone that rejecting another individual. It just simply means my life is in a different place and my people have to be a different people, because me putting you close to me and I'm going this way and you're going that way, there's going to be some unnecessary tension between us and it's going to be unspoken. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get frustrated with the relationship because I really want us to go in the same way. Unfortunately, we're not called to do the same thing. And even if we are in the a relationship that can handle two things, it's not very many people that can handle that. It's not a lot of people that, especially we're doing what we're doing in ministry and as students and different things like that. It's not a lot of people that can handle where I am right now, and that's developing and growing and changing, while everybody seems to be on this popular, road, a performance. I'm sitting with books and computers and tablets and, trying to get my health right and other stuff spending time with my wife, doing the things that I feel that is important to me. So gathering a whole bunch of people in my life right now, I really don't have time for that. But gathering the right people that can assist me in where I am right now, and I can talk to them, and they can handle me being who I really am, and I don't have to take off layers of me before I hang out with them. You see what I'm saying? Because they can handle who I am, all of me. Because I don't always want to, kind of like, sometimes when you hang around some people, I said this earlier. Let me just put this point out here like this. There's a difference in your assignment and your family, or your assignment and your people. You can have an assignment, and within your assignment, you may find some family, people that may become your family inside of your assignment. But not all people, for the most part, are not going to be your family. And when I say family, I don't mean blood. I mean your people, your people who can actually get you and different things like that. Inside of your family, inside of your assignment are people who actually need something from you, which means that if you bring them too close and bring them beyond your boundary, these people would drain every ounce of your life, not just your energy for that moment. They would drain your Monday, your Sunday, your Friday, your Thursday, your Tuesday. They'll drain every single day of your life because you have, watch this, overly committed yourself to them, and they have not really committed to you. They're committed to what you give them, not who you are to them. You see what I'm saying? So and who you are assigned to be to them, which is why we can't expect for the people that we are assigned to be our fan clubs or people who encourage us. These are the people who are looking for encouragement from us. These are the people who are looking for their self-esteem to be built by us. These are the people who are looking for to be fed by us in by way of the word of God. We cannot take on our assignment and bring the assignment home, because then that corrupts the assignment. And now you're trying to make your assignment your friends, and you can't do it. It's just impossible. Again, there are some people within that assignment that are mature enough to handle being in close proximity. But many times, more than not, you're going to have more people who are not family in your assignment than you are that is. So which means that for a person like me, in order to come away from my assignment and have a life, I need friends. I need to find my people. I need to find where I fit with certain people to do certain things that I can actually enjoy, that ain't always necessarily spiritual, and I don't have to be deep and wonderful and speaking in tongues and prophesying and talking the Bible and theological points with everybody and preparing sermons and, I'm gonna preach that next Sunday, Doc. I'm glad you said that. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody that want to talk about, potatoes and gravy. What about this steak over here? What about you know what I'm saying? What about this trip? What about this, this hotel, or what about this vacation? I want to talk about different things. I want to talk about money sometimes. I have a wonderful taste for financial discussions. What you doing with money? I like to talk about fashion. I like to talk about that kind of stuff. I like to talk about vehicles. I like to talk about cars and SUVs. I don't want to just be theological, but in my assignment, that's the only real conversation I can have with people that they can handle from me. If I talked about anything else, 9 times out of 10, my assignment would get in competition with me because they think I'm trying to be more than what I am. So I have to leave my assignment where they are, and I have to find my people. My people can handle me driving a new car. My people can handle me buying a new house. My people can handle me dressing nice. My people can handle me getting a degree. My people can handle me becoming a millionaire. My people can handle that. My people will be able to rejoice without comparing themselves to me or trying to shoot me down because I am me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So this is why I want to have this discussion today about getting in where you fit in. I don't fit in with everyone, and that's just the reality.
Yeah, and nobody fits in with everybody.
Yeah,
that's not even realistic to think, which is why a lot of the friction, even with the assignments sometimes that you may have, comes from, more often than not, everybody thinking everybody's supposed to fit in with everybody.
Yeah.
I want everybody to be on board with everything all at the same time. It's not going to happen.
Man, that's so dangerous.
It's unrealistic. You know what I'm saying?
That's dangerous.
People are on different paths, different mindsets, and coming from different spaces in their life, on different levels of maturity, the whole 9 yards. And so it's going to be a constant battle if you think all the time, well, especially with rejection, and people who have been rejected have to be careful not to always see every single thing as rejection.
Yeah.
Just because, just like I don't want someone to feel rejected because I won't allow them to define me and where my bounds are and where I fit in to the world. If I do something that looks like, oh, well, that doesn't seem like something that you should be or that you should do, or because I'm not doing it. And so why, you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to feel like, because I won't allow you to put me in this little box, that I'm rejecting you.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, then stay in the box.
Stay in the box.
But I don't want to be in there.
I don't want to be
I'll wave at you from out here, but I don't want to be in there with you. It's not that I don't like you. It's that my bounds are guiding me in a different direction. Yeah. And I can't let you take me off course. You run me off the track because you want me to go beyond where my boundaries are guiding me to stay over here. Or maybe I'm not even, on the track because I've allowed you to keep me, because I can't say this to that person, or I can't talk to them over there because they're going to think that I'm rejecting them. Well, you don't want to have this conversation. Right. So I'm allowed to have this conversation with this person over here, even though I may not be able to have that conversation with you. I may be able to have a different conversation with you because let's face it, you didn't want to talk about that anyway. So it's not a rejection. Yeah. It's just that you don't, and I talked to you about this morning about certain people, even within the assignment. Like I can say the same thing to more than one person or ask the same question to more than one person. And some people will answer it and be really like engaged in the conversation, and they'll peel back layers of themselves as I peel back layers of myself to get to know one another on a deeper level. Right. Well, some people are not good with that. They want to stay on the surface. And if you respond like you want to stay on the surface, I'm going to, I may probe a little bit, but I'm going to gauge by where I see those boundaries going. I'm not going to try to drive past the boundary that you have to try to make your relationship with me be what this person over here's relationship is with me, because then I'm disrespecting your boundary, and I'm not going to let you do the same to me, because there's some people that I only want to be on the surface level with because maybe I've already had an encounter with you that I tried to go beyond that, and really you just wanted to pull everything out of me and pull back all my layers, but you stayed on the surface. Well, now all I got for you is the surface. I'm not going to let you pull me. You know what I'm saying? So if I see that, and that's why we have to, like I said, let relationships breathe a little bit. Let them happen organically to see. Sometimes we charge into a relationship because we see how people are in relationship with others. And we feel like, well, why can't they have that relationship with me? That they might not have been meant to have that relationship with you. Just because, and like you said, it doesn't make them fake. It doesn't make them hypocritical. It doesn't make them not like you. Nothing. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You're just not supposed to be in the same type of relationship with every person that you see them with someone else. Me and my best friend have been best friends for over 40 years. We don't talk every day. We don't text all the time. She knows there's nothing I won't do for her. I know there's nothing she won't do for me. If I call, she's going to answer if she can. And we're going to talk, and it's going to be like no time has passed. Well, some people, and I'm okay with that. I'm not feeling like she doesn't love me because she hasn't called me in a month. Okay, she is busy. You know what I'm saying? She has a family. She has a career, a demanding career. She has, husband, children that are growing up in a crazy world and school system in Texas. And, people just have life that they have to balance.
Oh, come on.
I fit in her life. I've always fit in her life. Ever since we met, we've been like this. I'm not worried that something is going to come between, because she may have friends that she talks to on a regular basis more than me. I know my spot.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And she knows hers. And so, and everybody else does. And nobody can tell either one of us anything different. Even if they try to judge our relationship from the outside, saying, well, how is that your best friend if you talk to this person more than you talk? It doesn't matter. You don't have to understand it. Because we know. And getting in where you fit in, you have to be secure.
I was about to say that.
In where you fit in with other people. You have to be secure so that when someone else seems to be getting a little bit more attention,
come on, girl,
than what you're getting in this moment or in this season, this space of time, that you're not tripping about where you fit in. You've already established your place. In that relationship and where you fit in. Now, why are you going to go and try to charge past certain boundaries that you already know I have, because we found the space where we fit in with one another.
Yeah.
I'm not going to charge. It would be, I know my best friend would never, I probably could show up in Dallas and just be like, hey, I'm down the street on your way. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody can't do that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because I know what type of person that she is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
She
would never encourage anybody else to do it.
Now I'm gonna tell you straight up, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Not even her daddy is allowed to do it. I would probably get away with it before he would.
Yeah.
because I've never crossed certain boundaries with her.
Yeah.
But people who have, I don't care if it's your family member.
Yeah.
You might think because you're blood that you have privilege over me.
Yeah.
But if you already crossed a boundary, you probably don't.
Yeah.
Because I know better and you don't. Because I know what space we're in. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't show. Everybody know. Do not show up at my door.
You said something
uninvited.
You said something a while ago that a while ago. A while ago. What is a while ago? A while ago.
I don't know what kind of animal that is.
A while ago. That's a sea creature that we haven't seen yet. It's like the twin of the Meg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm lying. I don't know.
Yeah, you are.
A while ago. Okay. Anyway, so so I was thinking about that. I was like, it's really sad that people that you invest in a lot and should know their place with you. And then, maybe somebody new does come into your life. Like you said, you and your best friend. There are new people that I was new coming into your life. But she still knew her place with you. You know what I'm saying? Even when we go see her, she doesn't say, "Ooh, Brian, thank you for coming." No, she says, "Brian, thank you for bringing my girls." Yeah. She'll never say, "Brian, thank you for coming." She say, "Brian, thank you for bringing my girls."
Yeah.
Why? Because y'all were in her life before I was. And it's not that she's not happy to see me. Matter of fact, she usually talk to me the majority of the time that we
like
there.
We're the same person.
Yeah, we the same person.
Me and her husband are like the
same person. And so we have a great time together. Yeah. But she never says, "Thank you for coming, Brian." She say, "Thank you for bringing my girls."
But and at the same time, I'm glad you said that, because at the same time, she never makes you feel unwelcome. You already know that you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know which room
I
know which room to go to. Exactly. I know to take my shoes off when I come through the door.
Right.
And as long as I stay within her boundaries,
right,
I got free reign. I joke, we have fun, we talk, we eat, all that kind of stuff. And we just hang out, we play games, whatever. And so at the end of the day, like one of the things that I've had to like process lately is people that you have proven your love to and proven, yourself to, not being able to handle the new people that's coming into your life, that you are having to love on, that you're trying to get to know, that you're trying to build a relationship with, that now they seem to feel like that they don't know who they are to you, or that they don't know who you are to them. I shouldn't have. This is the thing that really that I was thinking when you said it was these must not be my people. Again, assignment versus people. These must not be my people, because if these were my people, I wouldn't have to reiterate how much I love you because I'm loving on somebody else.
Right. And sometimes it may not necessarily be that all of the people who respond in that way are not your people. Some of them may not be. Some of them may be, but they may not be, because we think sometimes because we show people who we are to them that they always get it. But people deal with a lot of internal stuff, insecurities, and you can show them, but they still have doubt. People still have that same doubt about God loving them and Jesus, you know what I'm saying, loving them. True. And he's done more for them than we ever could. Yeah. He laid down his life and for you, and you still don't believe that he could he really loves me like that. Yeah. I really have a place in him, and people still doubt that. So we have to know that some people are going to doubt their place with us, no matter how much we show, because we haven't laid down and died for any of them. And so if they can doubt the person who died for them,
right, they can definitely
their
doubt
space
me.
In him, then they can definitely doubt their space in my life or in your life. And it's not because, oh, it's something wrong with me, or they just don't get it, or what am I doing wrong? And we go through those sometimes because in our human emotions and our humanity, and not understanding and wanting to understand everything that makes people tick. we will drive ourselves crazy trying to figure out every single thing that makes people tick and why they make every single decision that they make.
Right.
But sometimes it's that they may be your people, and you shouldn't over explain. You should leave that space for them to just see that I'm still going to come over here and be the same person to you that I've always been.
Yeah.
Even though you see me developing this relationship over here, you'll see, I'm not going to explain it to you over the top. You will see that where you fit in is the only way that it changes is because you push yourself into a different space.
I was about to say, sometimes when people have an opportunity to build something healthy with you, they don't.
Right.
They spend more time trying to irritate you and frustrate you. And the moment they find you, being able to connect honestly and healthily with somebody and have conversations that you love to have. And it ain't just about one individual in the conversation, which is them. You know what I'm saying? It's like we over here sharing. We ain't over here trying to, compete with each other's lifestyle. We're actually, engaging in healthy conversation over here. And I'm getting to know these people in a healthy way. I'm enjoying this. This is what I'm about. I'm sorry that we've had conversations for 30 years and we've never had any conversation that really stimulated me. This conversation over here stimulates me. I connect with them. I don't just, these are not just words coming out of mouths. Yeah. This is something that I'm actually interested in. And because all you cared about was shallow things and competition and comparisons and different things like that, now that like I said, get in where you fit in. I could have had a relationship with you like this, but you didn't want to ever bring up a subject or a topic that actually stimulated me. You know what I'm saying? You either already knew everything, or you didn't need to know anything, or didn't know anything, or you just want to talk about things that only interested you. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes that's fear-based because people are afraid to step outside of what is immediately comfortable for them, even in conversations. And so they keep themselves from being able to develop a relationship that really goes to a level that they actually desire to have. Yeah. But because of the fear that they have that, oh, that's going to cost me too much of myself. That's going to cost me, being transparent. That's going to cost me being accountable. That's going to cost me, peeling back some of my layers. And sometimes it's like when I see you do it with somebody else, it doesn't look as scary. So now,
because all it takes is being real.
But that's what I'm saying. People, you understand that how fear can shut you down.
I mean, I do
fear
understand.
Fear can shut a person down, even from the things that they really, truly have a desire for. And so, but when you see somebody else do it, it doesn't look as scary because it's like, oh, that's really all I had to do. And so sometimes, you have to let people just see. You can't explain. You have to just let people see, because for some people, it doesn't matter how many words you use and how much vocabulary you have. There's nothing that you're going to say that can penetrate that fear or those thoughts, those self-defeating thoughts that they have. Yeah. Sometimes they just need to see that it really is that this really all I was trying to do. It's not as scary as you think. For some people, they still don't want it, and that's okay. You don't have to want it. We can just keep going with whatever space you already fit into. Yeah. But for some people, they want to move into a new space, but they're just awkward in their movements. And so it's frustrating sometimes because it's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But they're trying to move into a new space. Genuinely, they just don't know how to do it. And so it's weird. Stop it. It is awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening right now? And it might not be necessarily that it's a bad thing. Because
you can actually sense the movement. You can sense the weirdness of it. You can sense, you know, people don't really think that because you smiling and laughing that you don't sense the weird movements and, you know.
And you don't even have to be weird.
Like, you don't have to be weird. Like, people, I think we as humans have a tendency of making, you know, simple things complex. And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not doing nothing for this person that I haven't done for you already. And on top of that, you have had much more time to enjoy it than this person right here. You see what I'm saying?
And sometimes it's weird because people try to move when they should be talking, when they should just have a conversation. Be like, you know what? I know you've been trying to be XYZ to me, and I know we have a decent relationship, but I really want it to be, you know, like this with you, and I admire this in you, and I really want us to be on this level. But I was always afraid of people are afraid to be honest, even after the fact, when they see that it's okay to be honest. And a lot of that is pride. And, you know, I just don't want to say that now that I see it's okay, because I want to keep this facade that I'm this person, when really, if you know that we're in a relationship where you could just be honest with me, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to look at you differently. It's okay to just come and have a conversation and say, I really thought it was hard, but I can see that what I wanted in this relationship is not hard. I just have to be, I was tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I was tripping. But instead of having the conversation, you start moving weird. And then it's like, what is even happening right now?
Here's what I used to do when weird stuff like that used to pop off. And I used to feel that strain with people that I love acting weird all of a sudden, like I'm doing something to them. You know, I just used to shut down the new relationship that I'm building to go back and to make other people feel better and comfortable and all that, only for those people to act like I don't exist later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you want me to shut down. You don't want to be real with me. You don't want to see me be real with somebody else. You don't want me to prove that I'm really not a booger bearer or a monster, and I'm really, really kind and gentle and sweet, and I really love people genuinely, and I want to see them prosper, and I want to see them better, and I want to have healthy relationship. Once you see that with somebody else, then you desire it. But then I come back to you, and we still on the surface.
But I think though, like you said, you shut it down over here. Well, then that takes the hope away. Because just because people are moving weird, they don't really understand all the time that they're moving weird and making situations uncomfortable. But then when they see, oh, this was looking like something that I wanted, but now you shut it down, I don't know what happened there. Because to you, it feels like they want you to shut it down because they're moving weird now. Sometimes they don't want you to shut it down. They just don't know how to say, I want the same thing. Not necessarily that I want you to shut it down, but I want to be able to be a part. I want to be able to have a part. And so it seems like they want you to shut it down, but the moment you do, it takes away the hope that they can have it too. So then it's like, I'm going back into my comfort zone.
Right.
And now I'm scared to have what I thought I wanted because I don't know what happened. That makes
that's
you
the
just
decision.
abruptly shut that down.
That's the decision I made, you know, at this point in my life. At 47, I can't afford to shut no more good relationships down because other people can't handle them. I can't, because that puts me in a very lonely place. Again, like I said, I usually shut them down, and then when I do, then the people I'm shutting them down for act like I don't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because and I get excited when people want to talk, and you know me. I'm a very just an outgoing person. I've shut myself down to a point where I became a hermit because I became so confused about what people wanted, and I'm tired of living my life confused about what people want. I have to ask myself, Brian, what do you want? What do you enjoy? What type of people do you fit in with? What type of conversations do you enjoy and that you like to have? What stimulates you? What moves you? What moves you in your passion? What stirs you up to go home and produce something this week? Well, it's going to be people that's talking about something that's worth me hearing. I think the late Bishop Norman Wagner Wagner said about preachers, don't waste people's time. If people coming to hear you, they don't have to be the most, elite Christians, but at least don't waste their time. Give them something that that's worth their ears hearing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They came here to hear something. Give them something worth their ears hearing. That's how I feel about my relationships. Give me something that's worth me standing here for hours. And you know what I'm saying? Other than just a bunch of talking about something that ain't none of us about to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear all the stuff that you've been thinking about in the mirror while you was getting ready for work this morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, I mean, you're not meant to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me how God is motivating you and you never get motivated to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear all of that. Ooh, I've been changing, and then all I see is the same stuff we've been seeing all along. So, are you changing, or are you just talking about changing? Are you convicted to do something, or are you actually going to do something? Yeah. I'm talking to people who actually doing something.
Yeah, and
that blesses me.
I think too, like you said in the very beginning, about taking ourselves into spaces, going beyond our own personal boundaries. If your boundary is, like you said, one of your boundaries is what you just talked about. Yeah. I don't want to hear all that. Then do not move yourself into the space of having a 4-hour conversation with somebody about something that you already know. They want to be heard, but not change. And you know that's a boundary for you. Everybody who knows me knows a boundary for me. I do not like wasting time. Mm-hmm. And not that I don't like to stop and smell the rose, shoot the breeze, but I'm not about to spend 4 hours listening to you go around in a circle about nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Because for me, you set an expectation. I'm a leader. I'm a pastor. I'm a preacher. I'm a entrepreneur. I'm a content developer, and whatever. And you teach me what to be frustrated about, because I'm not that guy. Like, I don't say things out of my mouth that I'm generally not doing. But me being frustrated with you will hinder the moves I have to make, and it will slow down my pace, because I'm sitting there trying to figure out, why did I just waste 4 or 5 hours of my life talking to somebody who's not doing anything? Like, I don't want to just keep having conversations. And I didn't just get like this. I've been like this since I was a teenager. But I've always been this way.
But that's the thing. It's up to you not to put yourself
in the position, in
those spaces. Mm-hmm. Don't go beyond your own personal boundary of, I don't want to be in these types of conversations, and then just allow those conversations to happen.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, because I want to be accepted by this person, or because I don't want this person to think that I'm rejecting them. Well, I've never rejected you, but and that's the thing about establishing appropriate boundaries, because if I've established a boundary, then I talked to someone this afternoon, and that one of the things that I said to this person was, the things that we were talking about, I was like, I can't say these things to just anyone, because I can say these things that I'm sharing with you, and I can say it to you, and your reception and what you give me back, I can feel a release, and I feel like, my spirit being stirred up, and we're sharpening one another. And I said, even if I know that you're calling me with an issue that you might have that you need help with, I already know I'm going to also get something out of this conversation, because God always does that in our conversations together. I don't feel like you have just sucked the entire life out of me. Yeah. I'm able to help you because you are the way you receive what I'm saying, and then you always give me something to sharpen me as well. Even though you called me with the need. So some of the things that I was sharing, I was like, I know, and this is where I know my personal boundaries and the boundaries that other people have. I know I can't share these types of things with just anybody.
Right.
Doesn't mean I love them any less. Doesn't mean I don't have a relationship with them. It just means that our relationship is different. I might be able to share these things with you. I might be able to share something different with them that I might not be able to share with you. But these conversations, I'm good with it being with you. I'm not going to disappoint myself.
Come on.
Trying to have this type of conversation
with somebody else,
with someone who I know already has their boundaries in place that aren't going to allow me to have this conversation. And when I feel a release while talking to you, I'm going to feel a brick wall and like somebody kicked me in the stomach if I take this same thing
conversation to someone
and
else.
try to share it with someone else. even though I could talk to this person about whatever.
And the crazy part about it, the person that may have a brick wall may need to hear what you have to say. But because you know you can't say it, then you just don't have it at all, which again creates just that surface relationship. And the crazy part about it, they want you to be overly more. Most people like that want you to be more committed than surface.
Right.
While they stay surface.
Right.
But you can't be overly committed to a surface individual because a surface individual will keep kicking you down every time the relationship or the conversation goes in the direction that they are not interested in. Yeah. So you cannot, you already know I'm only going to stay right here with you.
Yeah.
We are hello, goodbye. That's what we are.
If you're standing in the 6 feet and they're standing in the 3 feet, and they want to stay in the 3 feet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and you keep trying to pull them into the 6 feet, they're gonna kick and fight and scream. They're gonna drown you in 3 feet of water.
Yeah.
They are going to drown you in 3 feet of water
because they ain't going.
Because they just want to let them stay there.
But that's not good vernacular. But they ain't going. That's the term. That's the phrase people say. I ain't going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to be okay. At least they're standing. At least they're not drowning. You know what I'm saying?
And if if like you said, if that's the box or the limitations that they want to have, they can have them. But I want
maybe they'll be encouraged if they see you and someone else, good and deeper, walking into the deeper, but not trying to drag them. Maybe they'll be encouraged, like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I will share a little bit more. Maybe I'm gonna go to the 4 feet.
Sometimes you'll find people that don't really want to go, but they want to occupy your time the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really want to go to 3 feet, but I want you to stand with me in 3 feet. Or they may see you, going into 6 feet with somebody else, and they may say, I can't believe that he just left me here. Well, you didn't want to go. This ain't where I want to be.
Either come on or stay over there until I get back.
I have to respect that that's where you want to be. I don't have the energy to keep coaching you to come to 6 feet. I just got to go to 6 feet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, again, going back to the whole thing about me changing, I have decided I'm hanging on to the things that motivate me, the relationships that fuel me, the relationships. It's not many relationships outside of me and you that really do that for me. It's not. But lately, I've been coming into relationships that really do that for me. And you've been coming into a relationship where people have been able to speak into your life, you know what I'm saying, in a different way. And it's like, whoa, this is how we talk. Every time we leave them, we say, this is our language. They speak our language. Find some people who speak your language. If you want to be ghetto, find some ghetto people. I'm not trying to be funny. We talking about get in where you fit in.
Right.
If ghetto is your thing, find ghetto people. Don't find a nerd like me to do ghetto like you, because I'm not going to get it. I'm going to think you crazy. I'm going to think, as crazy as I am, as country as even I am, I'm not going ghetto to please you. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going street. I don't have no swag. I ain't got none of that. I'm Steve Urkel. You know what I'm saying?
Not Steve.
Like, I mean, to a degree, that's what I am. Like, I'm green to the streets. I really don't care to know about the streets. I don't, Matter of fact, you'd probably know more about the streets than I do. I do, because that ain't where I was raised. That ain't where, that's not my upbringing. I'm green to them. And I don't care to stay, I don't care if I stay green to them, because you know what? I'll read what you experience. You know what I'm saying? I'll read what you experience. I can write on what the streets are doing to people. I see what they're doing to people, but I don't want to be on the streets to experience what they're doing to people. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. So I don't have to have what you have. I like my people. And when I'm learning about people of success, people of value, they literally surround themselves with their people. That's just it. Even Jesus did it. He had 12 disciples. He had an inner circle of 3.
But he loved everybody. And died for all of them.
And he didn't explain to the rest of the 12 why the other 3 had closer proximity and relationship with him.
I'm sure they had questions.
They probably had questions. They was very competitive, obviously.
Even the ones that were up close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But there was purpose in that. And sometimes, and I think we talked about this earlier, sometimes there are people who have to be in closer proximity because of the purpose that you have to fulfill, and you have to work alongside certain people because of the purpose that you have to fulfill. However, that does not mean that you have to open up all your boundaries. Your boundaries are still your boundaries, even though you may have to work in close proximity with people because of the purpose that you have. It doesn't mean that you're going to be best friends with those people either. It doesn't mean that those people have, there may be other people that you don't work with for your purpose in the same way, in the same as a close proximity, but you might actually be closer in relationship with people who are further out from you in whatever you're doing in your purpose. And so they may be still going in the same direction, but the certain things that you're called to do in your purpose may not have them working with you as closely, but you may be really close, still with them.
Yeah.
And so we can't think one-dimensionally when it comes to relationships and boundaries and getting in where you fit in and other people getting in where they fit in with us.
It's multifaceted for sure.
Yeah.
Because everybody, have a different taste for a different type of person, and they have a different need for a different type of person. For me, I need people who understand, seminary. I need some people to understand marriage at a stage. I need people to understand what empty nesting is like. How do you go from loving your child to overseeing your child? You know what I'm saying? Like you're in the house and you're nurturing them, but now they're out and now you don't get to oversee them. You just have to love them wherever they are and whatever decisions they make, and take all of your energy and place it on your spouse after 18 years, which is the majority of our marriage, being focused as parents. You know what I'm saying? So how do I need people like that. I need people that can help me, and mentor me in writing books and even doing this stuff, podcasting and marketing and, creative content and book writing, and just understand my life as a man. Where am I right now? What are these blocks that's happening in my mind? My body is changing. My mood is changing. Like, what I'm saying? Like, my desires are changing. Like, I don't care about, whether people really like me or not. Like you said something to me the other day that I thought that was kind of funny. I think we was in Lynchburg, and it was funny because you was like, people really think that you care whether they like or support you or not. They really think it bothers you when they don't. And he said that goes to show you that they don't need you. And I think this started the process of me thinking about this, like, get in where you fit in. Like, I don't really care. Like, I do think that my relationship should be reciprocal. So if I'm celebrating you for something, I would think that you would be cool with celebrating me. But if not, please know that you gonna want something else.
Yeah, and for me, those kind of things, like, I'm gonna be me regardless. Yeah. If I want to celebrate, if I want to clap, if I want to whatever, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do it back. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It would be nice, of course. Everybody wants reciprocation in relationships, but for me, I don't come into it with an expectation. I'm just gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? And for me, those are boundaries that I have, because I'm not about to keep disappointing myself, because people are. I don't have control over how other people. Everybody's not gonna be me.
Yeah.
So what I think should just be a natural response. Other people, everybody comes from all different walks of life, have been raised differently, have been, treated differently, grown, nurtured differently. Some people have not been nurtured at all.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't expect people to have the same ideals that I have and the same values that I have. So if I love on you in this way, you might not love on me back like that. Mm-hmm. But it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's the relationship we're going to have. But I'm not going to change me because of who you are.
And I'm not going to overdo it either.
Well, I'm not going to overdo it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to overdo it. Because that's my bound. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be as much me as I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Because what I do is genuine. I'm not going over the top so that you can feel a certain way or so that you can give me something back.
Right.
If I go over the top, it's because I love you and I want to go over the top.
Do it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just because that's who I am and that's who I want to be.
That's good.
I'm not
really
going
good.
over. If you see me going over the top,
It's because I
wanted to go over the top.
That's it.
It's not because I'm looking for something back from you.
Absolutely.
So don't feel obligated.
Yeah.
If you want to go over the top for me, great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm always shocked and amazed, but appreciative if people go over the top for me because I don't expect it.
Yeah.
And so it's always like a pleasant surprise when you're not expecting something.
I tell people all the time, like, I'm so used to people not celebrating me. I just have my own parties. Like, forget it. If it's something special for me, like Father's Day, people think I'm not gonna be here. I'm not going. You don't have to say Happy Father's Day to me. I'm gonna be on a plane.
Oh my gosh! You know you're gonna cry. Kiana don't say.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about it. I know, like you just said it. You know your position. Yeah. Now, if that was years ago, I'd probably be like, oh man, I've been that good of a father, and she ain't saying no. But honestly, let's be real. She's gonna be sitting on the plane with me.
Exactly.
So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like you said, I think that the key is not to do it with the expectation. Because some people really don't know how blessed they are. And I'll say this in us. They don't understand it. They don't understand how blessed they are in us. Because sometimes people think we do stuff to get attention or praise or some type of credit for it. But the reality is, everything we do it because we want to do it. We do it because we genuinely and authentically.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Who wants to do it? Who wants to do it for a little clap that ain't gonna last but what, 30 seconds? You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna take what I got and you're gonna forget tomorrow that I did it. So at the end of the day, I don't do it so that I can receive some type of like you said, reciprocity or a reciprocating act, from you. I do it because I really love. I do it because I want you to know this who I am in my heart. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
because I don't want people to even feel pressured to reciprocate in a relationship with me if it's not something that if that's not who you are and that's not what you want to do.
And not only that, sometimes people just can't give back to you, the way you've given to them.
Yeah,
and if they can't, then shoot, you having that expectation of them puts them in a bad space, and they do it does more hurting them because you're only doing it to get something. Yeah, that's
that's just weird.
It really is.
I mean, and that's just me. That's because that's how I think. Mm-hmm. Nobody else may think that's weird, but I think that's weird. I'm only going to do what I want to do because I want to do it, or because God laid it on my heart, or because that's just genuinely what I want to do.
Yeah.
You and Kiana think I'm over the top. Y'all call me extra all the time because if I'm throwing a party, it's gonna be a party. If I'm gonna make, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna do something for you, I want to do it excellently because that's how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a lot, but whatever we were gonna do was gonna be excellent. But I learned how to make, do a place setting with all these forks and knives and all this stuff. We barely had something to put on the plate, but I bet we know how to set the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I do something for you, I was raised with a spirit of excellence. I'm gonna do it out of my heart and because of who I am, not because I want you to be me or be like me. Mm-hmm. Do it your way. Be genuine in a relationship with me. Because that's a boundary for me. Yes. Don't be disingenuous with me. Whatever you do, be genuine.
Don't
with
do
me.
Stuff for people to get stuff out of people. Don't do it. Like, my God, when are we going to really take Matthew 6 seriously? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do it to be seen of people or to be praised by people. Do it because you want to do it. That's what gives me joy in loving on people, which is also, used to be a great offense when people act like they never been loved on by me or celebrated by me or treated well by me. Like it does hurt. I have to admit it does hurt, but it also just lets me know, okay, Brian, this is the assignment. This is not the people. Because the people that know you and really have your heart and really got your back would never, ever look at you and say and treat you like you've never been there for them. The people that really, really embrace you would never, ever treat you like you are a second-class citizen when you've given them first-class service. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would never treat you that way. So embrace the people who embrace you. I think as we come to the close of this, embrace the people who embrace you. And that sounds so selfish because it sounds like you don't want to try. But at the end of the day, I'm too old to be giving myself away to people who don't want me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And wherever I don't fit, I don't want to fit no more. So you can't really like use somebody else in front of my face, show me how much love you have for them more than you have for me. I just know I don't fit with you. And then I have to ask myself a real question. Do I want to fit in with you?
Right.
I may not want to be in the nasty little group that you got. I may not want to be in the group that tear people down. I may not want to be in the group that sow discord among the brethren. I may not want to be in the group that's partial. I may not want to be in the group that let's just be real. I may not want to be in the group that want to present themselves as having something but really struggling behind the scenes. I don't want to be in that group. I want to be real and authentic to who God has created me. And I want people around me who can love me genuinely like I'm loving them genuinely. And that I can literally let I don't have no hair, but let I want to let all of my proverbial hair down in front of them. And I can just simply be myself. That may not be anybody I'm around immediately, but I need places to go. These are called safe places for me. Mm-hmm. These are people that I can be myself. I can even tell on myself flaws and all, and I'm still going to be looked at with the eyes of love, and nobody will use what I say against me. Nobody will take my weakness and then join the weak club and say, ooh, he felt this way, so it's okay to feel this way. You know what I'm saying? Like they will hold me accountable and they'll help me get stronger in this area rather than take on that persona and say, oh, this is the way to do it. He said if he can't get past this, then surely it's impossible,
Yeah.
And I'm going to end it like this, or I ain't going to end it, or I ain't going to say I'll end it like this. You may have more. But I brought this up because of where we went to Lynchburg, to Liberty University. We have been studying and got our degrees from there, and we had never been there. I've never been to a place, well, I'm going to say I've never, but it's been a long time since I've been to a place where I felt like I belonged. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it brought out something in me, like, because there were people from all over the world that was literally there, man. It was over 60,000 people there that weekend, man. And it was so fun, and meeting with alumni and people around there, and even running into my professors that I had never met. It felt so good to be able to say thank you to them and have conversations and tell them what the class meant to me. It did something for me, and it let me know these are your people. You may not feel like that you are in this environment and you live in this environment, but these are the people you should be associating yourself with. These are the people that you should be trying to build relationships with, because these are the people that can feed that hunger down on the inside of you and let you and connect with you either in faith or in knowledge, and tell you, oh man, that's so amazing. Because that's what happened. The professors were so encouraged by how our biblical worldview changed because of the class. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And how things were transformed, and learning that some was even learning that I was a pastor, and could, vaguely, because they teach a lot of people online, but vaguely remember, me in some aspects. And then meeting other people that were students, and me getting over the fact that, I'm 47 and I'm, still in seminary, and I'm still learning and I'm growing and all of that, and running into people 10 years older than me and people 20 years older than me, and realizing, man, it's so beautiful to see people this age and even older still pursuing. So I don't have to feel bad about being a late bloomer, which was the very first podcast that I put out. And I don't have to feel bad about doing it late because I feel like I'm right on time. I'm in the right mature brains, mature mindset. I have a better outlook on life. I know what I want. I'm clear about my direction. I'm clear about my calling. And I didn't even embrace my calling as much as I did when I stepped foot on campus and stood in the library of the divinity school and just taking it all in and hailing that entire weekend and just like, man, I even told you, I said, I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. Why you don't want to go home? Because I fit right here. I'm that nerd. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In my environment, I'm tempted to try to be cool. In my environment, I'm tempted to try to have swag. In my environment, I'm tempted to say the right things all the time and do all the right things to satisfy people's desire for me to be somebody that they want to make up. But at least that's how I feel about it anyway. But in this environment, I could just be myself. There were the guy that chased me down that told me to hook up with guys here in Memphis and told me the names of them. And he was a church planting agency and I don't even remember telling him that I was a church planter, but he left his family to come and I asked myself, what did I say to him to make him chase me down, leave his family and chase me down and all these people out here and talk to me about building relationships with people in my city that he knew that were good guys to connect with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you just got to get in where you fit in. Everybody is not going to be a theologian. Everybody's not going to be a divinity student. And everybody's not going to care about what I'm studying. Everybody's not going to care about who I'm becoming. Everybody's not going to care that the things that I care about are the things of God. They're not going to care about it. They're going to have different interests. And you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
They have a right to have different interests. But also at the same time, I have to realize that maybe either they are my assignment or they're my family. And I don't get to determine necessarily who they are. They get to decide who they are. I have to accept who they are, and I can't make them be more than they're willing to be. Yeah. And I can't turn them into something that they are not, because then I'm asking them to be hypocritical. I'm asking them to be fake, and I just have to deal with like maybe my immediate circle or maybe my immediate environment. I may feel like I'm a loner, but I know where I can go and feel like where I belong. I know how to get in where I can fit in. All I got to do is go an hour up the road to Jackson, and I got family in Jackson, and we have people that we can talk to and people that we can hang out with, people that we can laugh with, people who understand the struggle of a pastor and sometimes the insecurity, frustration, and desire to quit. A lot of times I think I've said things to our church that I really should have just said to another pastor because I didn't have anybody to talk to who really understood where I was. So I made the terrible mistake, and I think that's the thing that I love about that's changing in this season, that I won't have to say those things anymore to our church because I have somebody that I can trust that I can say these things to. Because why? They're my people. They're my people. I'm getting in where I fit in. Yeah. People that's doing something, people that are self-aware, people that are accomplishing what God's called them and walking in their divine calling, whatever it is. And these people are walking in all different types of callings. Yeah. All callings are not just what we do in church. So that's why I say people have a different interest group that they might need. You know what I'm saying? Some people God called to the street, so they might have to be ghetto. Maybe they have to be. I don't know. I don't get it, but they're not my. I'm just saying, maybe they have to be ghetto, but ghetto is not me. It's not me. So I might be country, yeah. But ghetto, I'm not. And I don't have any swag. I'm nerdy. I'm nerdy. And unless you need somebody that's nerdy and cool and cuddly and, just want to hug and, and kiss and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm I'm romantic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just being real. Come on, you can say it. You can say it. Go on, say it. You say it. You say it. That, go on, say it.
Saying it.
Go on, say it.
Anyways, get in where you fit in, folks.
I'm just saying.
Do you have any last words?
I'm waiting on you to say it.
That you're a nerd?
No, I'm waiting on you.
What do you?
I want you to say why you wore that dress.
What? And I think we're done here. It's been real, guys.
No,
come on,
serious.
let's come on. Tell them where they can.
No, I'm going to tell them, but I still got something that I want to discover right quick. I want to know, since you're my people, I want you to tell them.
There's so much pressure here.
There's no pressure. There's no pressure.
What am I telling them?
You already know. I just already started. You usually finish my sentences. I don't understand why you acting like you can't say it. So say it. Go.
Come on, wrap it up so we can get. How much time we?
Oh, we earlier than what we usually are.
Great. So this, again, episode 5, get in where you fit in. This has been a great conversation.
It really has, though. I mean,
been a great conversation.
I this is my thing. I'm glad. This is maturity for me. This is a really strong growth point because I think I have become a little bit slightly controlling of people because of what I wanted from them and what I wanted them to be for me.
Yep.
And accepting that that's not even possible and it's not reality.
Yeah. And it's not fair.
And it's not fair to try to make people conform to their image that I want them to be, because I feel like we should share these desires.
Yeah. Because in the reverse, you wouldn't want someone to have to try to have control over making you who they want you to be to fit their
I ain't going.
desire. Exactly.
I'm going to fight for me.
Which should give
every single time.
Which should allow you to have the grace to extend to those who fight to stay who they are, even if you can't appreciate
who they are,
who they're trying to fight to stay.
Yeah.
That's their right to fight for them.
Yeah.
Just like it's your right to say, I ain't going.
Yep.
And I'm going to fight for me every time.
Fight for me every time. Yep.
That's where grace
because it's
comes
up to them to discover whether they're taking the right road. It's just like it was up to me to discover what road I was taking. And it took me this long to realize, hey, you know what? I have to expose myself to something different so I can see this is where I belong. This is who I am. These are my peeps. Yeah. And without even knowing half those people, I had some of the best conversations that I ever had. Now, I'm not saying that they're all my best friends. No. I'm just talking about the academic environment, the environment of scholars, and the environment of where people gain knowledge and get an education and still love the Lord and still produce. And the SOAR network is, scholars, entrepreneurs, pastors, apostles, teachers, all kinds of people, covering all of everything, every genre.
Because getting in where you fit in, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be quiet. It doesn't mean that you have to have all the same interest as me.
Right.
I can be interested in something that you do that I may not ever do, but it might be interesting to me because I can still have an appreciation for who you are and what you do. The same as I would like for you to, if you're my people, you don't have to do what I do, but you'll have an appreciation for me being me and doing what I do. Just like I can have an appreciation for you being you and doing what you do. We don't have to have all the same interests. You might not have, ever want to go to seminary. You don't have to go to seminary to be one of my people. No. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to, you don't have to want to go to the gym with me.
I don't want
even though you're my people.
No, don't get romantic and sweet now. Nope, no, cause see earlier I was talking about.
So people don't have to have all of the same interests as you to be your people. It's just you have to know that you have to feel accepted for whoever you are.
Yes,
and you have to accept those who are your people for whoever they are.
And like you said, they may not have the same interests, but maybe we can get along and still be. That's like I said. It takes a very special relationship to go into different paths. It's stuff that you do. When I sit down at your desk while you working,
I have no business. I have no business.
I have no idea what none of that stuff means.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I just look at it and I'm like, oh my God.
It let you know that you was in the wrong seat.
Thank you. You know what? That's funny, but that's true. Yep. I was in the wrong seat.
Right.
I do not ever deserve to sit down. And I mean deserve. I never deserve to sit down at a single seat in your office.
You can get on the other side, your counseling chair.
Well, I don't even want that no more. I'm just going to pray.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of bringing my problems to you.
I'm going to hold your hand while you take us out.
Whatever. See what I'm saying? Like,
just take us out.
I asked her to say, now she getting cuddly. See? Anyway, y'all, listen, thank you for joining us today. I pray that you have enjoyed this episode 5 of Just Get In Where You Fit In. Y'all, listen, we could have kept going on and on. We got so many stories and experiences. Our podcast is based on things that we study, real life experiences in our calling, in our occupations, family, whatever the case may be. So never ever feel like that we are shooting at anybody. This is just things that we've learned, and they can be used in your life in any capacity that you need. We can't only talk about what we experienced. We can't talk about anything else. So hopefully no one actually get salty or figure that we trying to throw salt or shade.
We're not going to worry about that. Continue.
Exactly. I'm just saying, what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but it's not important, but
because
at the
when
same
you know
time,
your intentions, you do not have to explain.
See, there you go. So anyway, take it how you want to, I guess. That's what Dr. Kim just said.
Basically.
Take it how you want to. So if you're my people and you follow me, then you know that what our hearts are like. So anyway, but yes, you can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on all of our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can follow us on all of our digital audio sites to get this podcast wherever you get your podcast, because it's so many more digital audios platforms that we're on.
Follow us everywhere.
The Apostles Corner everywhere. But this is Brian Harris, your podcast host, along with Dr. Kimberly R. Harris, your co-host, my co-host, my wife, my girlfriend. Okay, I'm sorry.
My God.
My girlfriend, Dr. Kim. Amen.
Right.
Amen.
All right, guys. That's going to be it for episode 5. See y'all later.
Yes, come back next week. Hopefully we'll be back. God bless y'all.